and we've crossed over the 14% mark in terms of election results. And here is where things are standing. Some interesting developments. As things stand right now, the ANC is sitting on 42%, 42.5. So let's give them 43. That should be worrying to the ANC at this stage of the game. Well, obviously still early, things could change, the dynamics could shift, but if they don't have a better performance in KwaZulu-Natal, they could be facing this number throughout the day. 43%, that's quite worrying if you're the ANC. Very, very big implosion, failure from the IFP, the Inkatha Freedom Party. They have just disappeared. KwaZulu-Natal is supposed to be their strongest party, and they are just struggling to cross 25,000 votes. That's something that should be a big concern for them. The biggest winner in this early round, what we're seeing is that mkhonto wesizwe is blowing up KwaZulu-Natal. They're in charge, they are large, they're destroying. Remember what I said, the biggest mistake that the ANC made was the persecution of Jacob Zuma. That was a big mistake. It should have been handled internally, should have been handled diplomatically. Bona now, what's happening? Bona the data, the numbers, the stats, check the statistics. Check the statistics. They're being cooked, fam. They're being cooked. So that's something that they should be worried about as things stand right now. Right. The EFF, it looks as if they're not having a great day in the early results. They're just reaching that 100,000 mark, and they're running behind what the expectations and the projections would be. Why is this happening to the EFF? KwaZulu-Natal is also a factor for them. mkhonto wesizwe, I didn't think it was going to happen. I was wrong. I thought that mkhonto wesizwe was just going to take the ANC's lunch and not so much the EFF's lunch. But mkhonto wesizwe is taking everybody's lunch, everybody's biscuits, everybody's juice. All of the children are crying in the playground now because mkhonto wesizwe is the only one eating. mkhonto wesizwe is the only one eating in this election in a big way. For a new party to come in this strong, I don't think it was possible. I don't think we're going to do it. These results may not hold throughout the process, but they're important to think about. Now, some interesting sub-races are happening in this election. We're seeing, Build One South Africa and Rise and Action SA, who's going to emerge, who's going to be a little bit over the other one. Action SA also having some very difficult early numbers. But another very disappointing outcome has been the performance of the Good Party. This is a party led by Patricia De Leo. They had 72,000 votes predominantly in the last election, predominantly coming from the Western Cape. It looks as if they're very weak in the Western Cape. Where have their voters and supporters gone? To Patriotic Alliance. Patriotic Alliance in the Western Cape, eating everybody's lunch. That's something that has been a good strategic move for them. I don't think they were going to do it. Another space where I was a little bit wrong. I did recognize the numbers. Once they filled up Avalon Stadium, I was like, look, this is a good strategy. The Western Cape is a good place to create a niche and to build from. It looks like it's been successful. Gayton McKenzie is going to be an MP. He's going to be out in Parliament saying Abahambe from the parliamentary benches. It's going to be interesting in Parliament. You do need to have spicy people like Gayton in the space, in the place, something that's going to happen. So it looks as if that bet on the Western Cape has played out. That's where things are right now. What does this mean for coalitions if the numbers hold? It means that the ANC has to start shopping around. The IFP is not going to be available as a coalition partner. So what does that mean? Does it mean that the ANC and the DA coalition is going to be on the books? It may be likely. You may think it's a crazy version, but we saw some soft launching of this idea from leaders of the Democratic Alliance saying if the, what is it called? Moonshot, pact, puncta, sunta, the moon. If the Mooney strategy doesn't work, they're going to then make a deal with the ANC because they view that as the lesser of all evils. So if the numbers keep the way that they're keeping, we may actually see a DA-ANC coalition. They were still saying yesterday it's never going to happen, but now we're past that part of the game now. Now real politics is going to come into play. Donors are going to start speaking. Business is going to start speaking. And the politicians are going to have to listen to the people who gave them money and make some deals. So let's see what happens. It's still very, very early. We're very early in this process. But we're beginning to see some things that are going to make people start thinking about what's next for us. Donors, I have a question for you guys. You guys gave the IFP 20 million rands. For what? For what? Yo! 20 million rands. You should have given that money to my money or something. But yo, 20 million. And then you gave 35 million to change. Change what? Between the IFP and change, you lost 50 million rands on bad investments. Business people, you're supposed to be the smart guys. You're supposed to be running this economy so wonderfully. How did you choose such bad? I don't mean to laugh at you. Sorry, I don't want to hurt your feelings. 50 million is a lot of money. Oh my God. Give me 50 million. I get more votes than these guys. In the next election, give me. I start a lab coat party. I do better than those guys. 50 million rands on bad bets. Oh, donors, fire the people who advised you. I'm not going to blame you guys. You guys are my guys. You're going to give me 50 million. Fire those consultants. They did a bad job. Somebody did a bad job and you need to account for it. ANC, moment of reckoning, you guys need to reflect. You need to reflect. That whole attack on Zuma, you guys caused this problem. You need to reflect on how you handle this problem. Anyway, that's where things are right now. Stay tuned. Keep following. We're going to keep updating you.